I'm very excited about bringing the show back. I know we've taken a hiatus for about a year. It's been a long time. I would love for people to sit back and remember what they loved about the show and come in and join it on this journey, which is consolidated 13 episodes of, high-end, adrenaline-running, amazing drama. It starts at a place where history doesn't matter. What happened to these characters doesn't matter. It's 3 years later from where we left season 2. Everyone's gone their own way, and now they come back together as a stronger, better, Black Ops team, undercover Black Ops team, which no one really knows about, which makes this sort of really a sexy, secret spy show, which I love being a part of. Every episode you will feel like is ripped off of the news that's happening right now, or headlines from newspapers, and it's extremely relevant, very topical, and it offers solutions and a point of view to everything that's happening in the world. So it's amazing when television comes, when television and reality sort of join hands. That's great storytelling, and I think that's where Quantico has come this season. Marley she doesn't need any validation from any of us. She's an Oscar Award winning actress, supremely funny. She's such a cool girl and a girl's girl. She makes sure the team is always together. She's such a mama. She'll take everyone out for dinner, and if we're late, she'll text us all and be like, "I'm downstairs, why aren't you here yet?" For social reasons. "I want to go eat Moroccan." "Yes, ma'am." And she just keeps us all together. And she's super fun, really sassy. She's so accomplished, not just in her field, but also she's an author. She does so much to give back. She's just a woman I really look up to and admire, and it's been so wonderful to have her on this season, just to look at what a woman can do. Alan's an incredible actor. We met at the chemistry read for the first time. When I remember I was in between scenes and it was my lunch break, and Michael Seitzman called me and he said, "Listen, we have a chemistry read with 2 guys. Do you want to come upstairs?" So I went up to the writer's room, and I didn't even know my scene, and I was like, hey, what's up? I met him like that, and then we did a chemistry read, and I said, I'm going to go back to my scene. Let me know when you need me to come back for the next guy. And Michael just said, "Nope, it's done." I was like, oh, that's how Alan was cast. We've traveled internationally a lot with this season. We've gone to Tuscany, Italy. We've gone to Dublin, Ireland. We are in New York, the United States. And I think this is a very international show. And it's really exciting to be able to cater to a really international audience with this cast as well, which is extremely diverse.
So the character I'm playing on Quantico this season is a brand new character for season 3, clearly. Her name is Jocelyn Turner, and she's been an FBI agent for a while, not necessarily a deaf one as she is today. She was a person who could hear, and she taught at Quantico. And she was both street smart and trained as an FBI agent. She worked on the street and in the classroom. And it just so happened that she became deaf during one of the surveillance operations. And so it took her a while to recover. I would say probably 3 or 4 years. And in that process of recovery, she trained in sign language. She trained to do things she used to do, but in a different way. And now she's back. And I think for me, as a fan of Quantico, I like this idea of watching self-contained stories because it's a lot of work to have to remember what happened in the past and then remember what's going on now at the same time. And that's not the kind of way I watch television shows. So I am enjoying these stories that we're seeing in the scripts here. And that's one huge difference this season. Priyanka Chopra is a person that she's just a joy to work with. We don't have a great number of scenes together where we actually work one-on-one. But we normally work within a group. But I find her, she's very passionate about the show. And she is very involved in the writing. She's involved with the stunt work. And she's a big advocate working with actors. She has my back in every single scene when we work together. For example, when I'm working on a scene, I'm ready to go, but I'm wondering if I have a question about a scene or if I have a question about how to hold a gun or anything like that. She looks at me, she knows exactly what's going on, and she comes right up to me and she lends assistance, and I really appreciate that. She's a great gal. So I've known Blair for a good maybe 28 years, perhaps even more, and we have seen each other in social situations, but we never actually had a chance to work together. And I'm one lucky woman, I have to say, to be able to work with him. He's one of the most genuine people I've ever met and to work with. He's a lovely guy, and I look forward to working with him more. I really do. He's a good guy. Thank goodness he gets my sense of humor, too.
First of all, you know, when we pick up in season 3, we've fast forwarded 3 years. So when you tuned out at the end of season 2, it'll be 3 years later. You know, what's great about that is you can let these characters evolve and grow and have different lives, and then we see them come back together. We don't delve into where everybody's been, but we see where they've ended up. You know, they're in different relationships. They have different people in their lives. But yet they're bonded from their history and now their future. Owen is the deputy director of the FBI, so he's second in command at the FBI, and he oversees this team of brilliant FBI agents, and each team member brings something different and unique to the unit. For the show to work well and for the team to work well, you have to see how fluid they are as a cohesive unit. You know, when they're working individually, when they're spinning out on their own, it doesn't work. But you watch them, and when it really starts to click and you're firing on all cylinders is when they're all thinking almost with one brain. One person will say this, and the other person, wait, so this and that, and you build on each other, you leverage each other. That's when the show works best and when the team works best. McLaughlin, first of all, is an amazing addition to the team. You know, the fact that she is deaf, of course, it's a unique texture to the show and to the team. Our characters have known each other from our Quantico days, many moons ago, a couple decades prior to this. And Owen goes to find her, she's now teaching at Quantico. And we need her badly on this team, partially because of her history and the first case we're working on when she's introduced. Her relationships within the case we're trying to work out. But beyond that, once we see how well she works with the team, and we learn that the higher-ups want us to create a team to continue on into the future, we know that she has some very unique and special talents that can help us as a team. I've known Marley almost 30 years. I mean, as my early days when I started, I was doing LA Law at the time, and you know, she was winning an Oscar or 2 or 3 or 4. But yeah, no, we've always wanted to work together. And I tell you, I told her this, when I saw Children of a Lesser God, where she won her Academy Award, I remember seeing that. She was 19 at the time when they shot it. I remember seeing her thinking, as I do with all great actors, I want to work with that person one day. I remember thinking, I want to work with her one day.
This season is about the bonding and sharing of the squad. We become a tight team that goes out there as a Black Ops group, and we go and infiltrate bad stuff going down and make it not bad. So this season you're just going to see more of the people you love, but they now love each other more. Priyanka's just a force. She's just phenomenal. She's such a great number one. She's kind and generous, and she's always up for a party. She's the organizer. She's a great leader for this production, and she's continued doing that. I fell in love with her last year, and I've fallen deeper in love with her this year. And she's never in a bad mood. And she works so hard, and she never whinges. She's always there, trailblazing, putting in 1,000%, and that's quite inspiring to be around, and lovely and wonderful. I love Marlee Matlin so much. She is awesome. We have all become obsessed with her, me especially, but we've all started to become obsessed with ASL, which is American Sign Language. And in scenes where we're working with her character Jocelyn, we're all starting to develop fragments of ASL that we are using as our characters to, that's not actually, I was just demonstrating, to communicate with the character, and that has brought a whole new depth and nuance to it. Her relationship with Owen, played by Blair, one of my favourite scenes in the whole show coming up, or if it's been on, is they're just communicating with each other very quietly on the couch. They're leaned against the couch and they're talking about what's going on at the moment with an ex-colleague, and they're signing to each other, and it's so quiet and silent and calm and real. It's a very, very, very special scene in what this show is so loud and in the moment and quick and fast-paced, and stuff's going on, we've got to get there now, blah, 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 blah. And then you have this breath of realness, and it's really beautiful, and she gives the most wonderful performance. I think she's a total asset to this show. I always felt that Quantico was incredibly global in the fact of the diversity of its casting, and what we're portraying on screen is that it appeals to people all over the world. I mean, last year we had Aaron Diaz, who was a superstar in Mexico. Pel Tussi is a superstar in South Africa. Priyanka Chopra is obviously a superstar everywhere, but huge in India and China. Blair Underwood's got a massive fan base. I've got a few people in the UK think I'm all right. So we definitely have a web that goes out there, and this year definitely even more so.
He gets involved in the second episode of the season when the team is trying to essentially take down this white supremacist group that Mike has infiltrated for the last 2 years. So he's obviously with the FBI, and they call him in and say, listen, you're going to introduce Ryan Booth, Jake's character, to this, this faction. Deal with it. And Mike's not happy about it because he spent 2 years really trying to tread softly and build his base there, and is kind of thrown into this group of undercover agents as they're trying to take this thing down, because it's like a crossfire between this white supremacist group and this biological warfare that's going on. So anyway, I had to bring Ryan in, and he screws it up, of course, and I got to save his life, and then in saving his life, my cover gets blown, and so Owen is like, all right, we'll bring this guy into our team, and so I get to join the Black Ops undercover Quantico team that we get to enjoy. I mean, you could tell when she walks in the room that, she's a star, and she has that thing that stars have, and there's no doubt about that. But as I've gotten to know her, over the course of the season, we've become really good friends. And actually, it was probably 4 or 5 weeks ago. We're doing a scene. A lot of times with these shows, it's get down, FBI, blah, 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 which is really fun, certainly fun for the viewer and fun for us as actors. But we also love acting. The reason we get into this is for the conflict and the drama and bringing human emotions to life in an interesting way. And it kind of felt like 4 or 5 weeks ago was one of the first times that I was sharing a scene with her, and got to know her really well as a person, and we were really good friends. And then they said action, and she did this thing, this incredible take, and I was like, oh, that's right. She's a really good friend of mine, but she's also a really good actress. I kind of forgot. She's just a great actress, and it's been incredible to watch. I'll come on set when I'm not working just to watch these actors do their thing, and she's certainly one of the people that I was really excited to get to share scenes with or just observe as she does work, because like everybody else, I've been such a big fan of hers, as an actor for so long. I was such a big fan of The West Wing, and I thought what she did on that show was really, really special and heart-wrenching and strong, and to do all those things at the same time, she's bringing that to this show as well in a new way. She's got an incredible sense of humor, makes me laugh all the time, has taught me a lot of sign language, most things that I can't do on screen because that's how Marley rolls, but it's been it's been a good time getting to know her and hanging out with her. The actors themselves, there's a lot of diversity in the cast, both the characters are coming from a lot of different perspectives as well. You know, Mike is Southern, and there's a lot of different perspectives coming into these conversations and how they would handle these situations based on where they're from. But with regard to where we shot it, I mean, Italy was beautiful. I've seen that and looked, and they just shot that so well. And then New York is still my favorite place in the world. And we really took advantage of New York while we were there, really showed the city, used the city, and be filming these really interesting episodes, these really interesting storylines, really interesting characters, but using these incredible settings. I hope and feel like people are going to kind of travel around the world with us, you know, while we're doing this, because they're shooting it so well that I think people will experience that.